dear viewers, we welcome you to our new episode, People Talk Show, organized by the volunteers of Creative Society Project. This format allows us to talk openly about issues that we have in our current format of society, the consumer format, and also discuss how we can find a way out of it, way out of these endless chain of issues, endless problems, and most importantly and most inspiringly to talk about benefits of a creative society, what we will get in this new format, what we will get as persons, how we can realize ourselves, how we can make our world really unique and beautiful, and just live happily without any issues that we have right now.
And today we will hear from our guests what problems they see in our modern society. How would they like to see various spheres really benefit every human? And of course, we will talk about solutions and benefits in the creative format of society. So I'm glad to introduce our today's speakers, student in business administration from Uganda, Masiga, Swizen. Masiga, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Anya. Thank you very much. I am Masiga Swizen, a student of business administration at Makerere University in Uganda. And right now I'm a participant of the Creative Society, a global human project that is taking place all over the world by volunteers from various parts of the world, and it's really a pleasure to have a platform and communicate something to the whole of humanity at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And also, I would like to introduce our next speaker. He's a graduate at Cairo University, at Faculty of Commerce, author of the book in Business Ethics. So please welcome Marwan Hazem from Egypt.
Greetings, Anya, and greetings, everyone. I'm so happy to be here today and take part in this amazing discussion. I am Marwan Hazem, student of Faculty of Commerce English section, as you mentioned. My major is marketing. My book is about business ethics, trying to associate it as well to educational problems because of a lot of things I wish we will discuss today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. So we would like to start with our first question, which is kind of open one. Could you please share what problems in our society concerns you the most as professional and as a human? So Marwan, could you please share your concerns?
As a person, my concern about education is that it does not fulfill your personality. It's not a full place to reach for your potential or try to find your real potential. They are not directing you to the right place. They are giving you some more qualifications, but not directing it to the right place, which the marketplace actually needs. One of the problems is that the ethics, it's not very discussed in schools. Like, we don't even know anything about it. It's like someone trying to be perfect when you talk about it. So we are trying to discuss it more, make it just like normal, make people try to show off actually their ethics in the society, because now students and kids do not believe that they can lead the society, do not believe that they can raise economy, do not believe that after 5 years maybe they will raise a family. They don't just, you are talking about something I didn't learn about. So this is my concern personally. Professionally, after studying marketing for a long time, I found out that there is a lot of I don't want to say manipulation, but kind of like mind games played on you that take freedom from you, like working on all your senses, like what you eat, what you see, what you hear. Everything is just so extreme. So how could I find what I love in this life and just search for it? when I'm always surrounded with extremes. Also, I don't know, but I don't think that everyone has the opportunity to study it, and you don't have to. Not everyone have to study marketing and see mind games and brain influences that they play on you, so that they can live a happy life. No, it have to be more available for everyone, so that they can understand what's happening on them and avoid it in their own way. So these are two problems I believe it's very important to have a look on them. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. It's really a very huge topic, like this education, and in the preparation for the new forum that will take place on 12th of November 2022. This topic will be very deeply discussed, and we really need to find out for ourselves what is happening with our education right now. Who will be the person of tomorrow? We grow children and we grow them in our current conditions, but what will be as a result of this education, a result of this system? It's really interesting topic to discuss it today. But before that, I will ask our another guest, Masiga. Can you also please share your concerns about our current society from professional and personal view?
Thank you, Alexandra. I, as a student at the university right now, and as a concerned citizen, not for my country, but for the whole globe, there is a lot that is taking place around that I've observed. First of all, I will talk about the mainstream media and its form of advertisement and the way how it manipulates people through imposing images which will stir emotions of greed, of fear, so that people can just be kept under control. And the other thing is our education itself. Just as Marwan has talked about, the education itself does not support critical thinking. It's just like a format where you just go to listen to whatever they tell you so that you can answer a task which they've given you, but not to understand the whole concept of it all. The students are not allowed to critically think out some issues with the lecturers. A lecturer is just like, let me say, someone who just comes in class to present already made information that has already been there, not doubting whether it is still working in the current situation or it doesn't count anymore. So there's a lot that is needed to be developed in the education sector. And besides that, there are issues that are taking place around me, issues of hunger and loan slavery, whereby the country's deficit budget is counted on the human population itself, and the citizens of each country are the ones obliged to pay for these loans, and on paying for the loans, the services are not provided, and they don't get help in paying out these loans after getting them. So that's some alarming issue. Another issue is the issue of the environment itself and the way how we have conserved it as humans right now. As we can see, various sectors, for example, the fashion sector, as we can see, the film sector itself, it's having an overall, let me say, like effect on the consciousness of people. It's trying to escalate violence among people, trying to stir up a lot of vices among people. There's no any form of solution that has been raised, even through media. it's only and only politics and greed and power over us ordinary human beings, which is not helping us, and it's really not something very good to be happening in our society. Another issue I'm facing in my country, as in Uganda, is an increasing rate of corruption. Corruption is really to its peak. Over 25% of the country's budget is lost in corruption, and there's nothing to do about it just because we are living in this society, in the consumerist format of the society, whereby everything is selfish. There's no love for one another. There's no value for one person's life. There's only manipulation, even to the extent that the people that we entrust our power with are the same people that are exploiting us. So various issues, from climatic to from environmental factors to human factors. For example, the problem of hunger is an increasing and spiking rate of prices. In my country, for example, fuel, a liter of fuel, it's now 7,000 Ugandan shillings, which was at once at 2,000 shillings. Can you imagine? And the government has no solution for the people. The people want to strike up, and the government still it's trying to impose this military attitude towards the people because there's no solution for them. Yet we can see there are various technologies and all other things that are there, which have been discovered and are ready to be used so that we can live in better conditions, but they are not being implemented. So above all, I bring it all to the format of the society in which we are living in. There's no any other solution except that us as human beings to come back to our own natural senses of humanhood, the senses which are beyond ordinary senses, let me call them the senses of feeling and understanding, so that we can feel each other, so that we can love one another, so that we can build the society and unite and change everything. That's what we are doing right now, and this is very beautiful. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much for pointing out, it's really issues in all the spheres of our society, I would say. But you said very interesting point that from one side we have problem in education and we don't see the future, we are being educated and we see only some short-term goals. I think that's one of the reasons which is causing such things as corruption in our world, or that we are destroying environment. We are not looking further. And here is coming the question of education and that information which is being spread in our society, those values which we are said. And I just would like here also about these issues to ask, maybe you would like Masiga to add, or you, Marwan, that how you think this lack of vision, what it's actually giving, which impact it's giving for us as society? Why it's important for every person to understand that I need to look a little further? Why it concerns everyone?
Masiga actually mentioned a very important problem, or was using a very important vocab, which he was talking about the problem surrounding him, which is something like, I don't believe us as students or as a society wake up every day even thinking about this question: what is the problem surrounding me? So I think if just everyone start to think like that, what is the problem surrounding me, and then start talking about it, maybe we can find a better framing for the problem we really are facing, and finding out the questions popping up into our minds, instead of just accepting the recent situation and the recent education, because education itself now, it's not even helpful in the marketplace or in the real life. The curriculum itself is not useful like you still need to improve yourself and take more internships to improve yourself. So I'm wondering why we are wasting all this time on some things that does not help us in our personal or professional life. And this is like not a question from resentment, but from a serious problem I'm facing. This is my time. This is my age. I want to see achievements. And so it's not from resentment from the time I spent. I actually make good use of it, but we are a lot more than one or two or three. It's like we can do much better than that. We can raise economy much better than that. But now in a society where they only allow you to drive a car when you are 21, they are putting expectations so low. Like, I can do more than that. I can provide more than that. And this is another problem I think we should look at.
Yes, it's really just start thinking differently, like even from current format. So we really, from the childhood, we get used to some particular, how things are organized, right? So how we behave, and also both of you have mentioned that education influences us a lot, and even different spheres of life are continue this wave of influence, like mass media, everything we see, like from a film production to like some advertisement in the internet, whatever, that's everything. It's, like our surroundings are just making us less critical, just do whatever you're asked to do, and don't start talking about all the issues openly. We discuss it between our friends in the family circle, but just start talking really how we can get out of it, how we can really start even reorganize our society in a peaceful way. That's very, very interesting questions, how we can start changing things. And of course, we already see a lot of examples in our history, starting from some revolutions, wars, and etc. But it's a bad example, and we, as a humanity, we did not achieve anything with them. We just wasting our time, wasting life of people. And would it be more horrible to just really spend your time or lose your life in such thing, and do everything peacefully? That's what very, very great, and really inspires a lot.
Yeah, that's really true. Would you like maybe to add something? I just would like to point out those issues which we just now discussed. So the one problem which we all see is problem in educational sphere, which is not letting person see in future and really feel yourself as developed personality. It's kind of, we are following someone, we are following something, and it's becoming our kind of habit. And we don't see in long perspective. So this is really, we see what is happening with our society, because we are not looking further. We run for the short-term goals. Our environment is getting destroyed. Our climate situation is getting worsened, but we are not looking further. And that's a really important issue. And also, as you mentioned about information and mainstream media, which is not giving open information, but information which is just beneficial for few, but not for all people. So thank you so much for highlighting these issues. And as Masiga said, that these issues are leading to the huge issues such as hunger, such as people suffering really in different countries. And we see it all over the world, that today no one is really feeling safe. So thank you so much for voicing that. And now, as we would like to ask you as well, as person who is living in the society, how you see these spheres, how you see education, how you see their goals, how you see maybe how mass media should work, how you see them really benefiting all people. Masiga, maybe you would like to share your opinion.
Thank you once again, guys. Thank you. The media is not serving us. We as a creative society participants all over the world, I guess we have the ability to create our own broadcasting media centers in each and every country, so that through those broadcasting channels we can be able to publish information in its truth. We publish facts, like we even have a global television where every human being, actually the television is already there, the Alatra International Television, plus also the Creative Society, but this needs to be in every country so that we can overpower those other media groups, because allow us to give the rights. It's not beneficial to those in power, it's not beneficial for their pockets. So creating our own broadcasting medias and on which we are going to inform people, on which we are going to raise issues as humanity. Besides these media platforms, I think that would be something very great. Thank you.
Yeah, so we see that it's everything in our hands, and we, as human, we just need to understand that together we can change everything, and together we can, this moment of unification. It's really something that when we unite on one particular goal, when we want to unite and make our world full of benefits for everyone, and really something joyful. It's a very interesting moment, like how we understand this unification. Maybe can you share your own example or your own experience with that, how we can start this real unification and building creative society?
Give my own example on how I go to find out the Alatra and Creative Society platforms. First of all, it was in my own interest that I needed to know something beyond what we are given in the society. So I was making research about spiritual knowledge, consciousness, and all that stuff. So one day I go to land on a video what called Atlantis, and this video was a mind blower for me. It was on YouTube. And finding out Atlantis, I also found the book Alatra itself, which possesses primordial knowledge. That book alone and the information in it, it's enough. Like if everyone would just read that book, then it would be far away even than just fighting with this unnecessary truth of facts that are pseudo, and they're trying to keep us into slavery. So I got to know about the Creative Society through platforms like Instagram, YouTube, some videos on TikTok. And according to my own interest, I got to contact the Creative Society team itself because I wanted to know. So, and I wanted to join, and I wasn't good with whatever was taking place. So that's how I got here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And it's really important. As you said, the most important was your own initiative, that you wanted to know more, that you, as was mentioned before, Marwan was also saying that you need to ask what issues you see around you and how you want to solve them. So your own first step towards making something bigger. And Marwan, I would like to ask you, as we talked about issues in education and mass media, how you see these spheres, how you see really education which let person open their full potential, how you see information around us, how you see the spheres work for people.
I think now information is not being freely delivered from all places of society, especially generations. Like one thing I find about Creative Society when I just entered, I find different generations from different countries, like they are hearing you, they are providing you with the best they can know. That's not only from the meetings, from events in here in Egypt, like caring about mental health and things like this. So I think this fears can be overcome by generations freely like share information with each other. I know that we cannot convince the people in the higher hierarchy in many countries to join us because usually older generations don't believe in EOS or any other generation, and we have this problem a lot in Egypt. Like every generation must make fun of the other one. Like we are one, we have to support each other. And so one thing we can do is really let generations give each other whatever they can provide. So I can give you some kind of information. I can tell you how you must be treated in your country and what you deserve, and then you tell me another problem in my country is that now we can create a society that we really all deserve. And I think the start is by destroying the barriers between smaller generations so that they can really grow up having a stronger bond with each other. Now in lectures like here in Egypt, a way of educational system, I see students talking about relationships, instability, and problems like that. They really need stability, where all I knew about students and kids that they are just trying to outsmart the bigger people. While that's not true, they just are starving for stability, starving for talking about problems like addiction, like game addiction, like any kind of addictions that they are facing, and they are not finding the right information to help them because what they can see is just educational information and academic information, which is not very useful all the time. So having generations together supporting each other, I believe this is the first step to overcome the fears.
Thank you for sharing. For me, while listening you, your points now came such understanding that communication and information is the most valuable, because from one side, as we were discussing, when we start openly talking about those issues which we face, we understand, first of all, people facing the same issues all over the world, and we don't need to hide them from each other. And at the same time, when we start sharing information, how something helped you and how it can help another person in the world. So in such a way, we all are solving these problems, and it's becoming global unity. And here, I think, for me at least, it's what the real mass media and what the real education should be. It's sharing your experience in order to help another person. Because we all moving towards one goal. We all want to live good. So thank you so much for sharing, to you, Marwan, and to you, Masiga. Thank you so much for sharing, because for me, it was kind of insight that we really can do everything much different. Thank you. And now we would like to show a short video about what actually can give the creative society format to us, because this is really that format which ensures that every person live in the world where we really can develop our best human potential and really have prosperous and comfortable life.
The Creative Society. A society where human life is the highest value, where people respect each other, a safe world without wars or cataclysms, a society where people are confident about the future, affordable food and housing for all. Work is for 4 days a week, 4 hours a day. Free education and health care. Economic stability. A world without inflation and crises. Available technology. Solution of environmental problems. Would you like to live in such a society? It's not a utopia. It can be our future. A future that we can build together.
Yes, a future that we can build together. And that's, I think, the key words that exactly together we can do that. And by sharing our experience, by start talking about this opportunity with each other, we are getting closer and closer to this goal. And it's a very actually simple idea that everything we need is to start talking about that. We need to have this electoral request that when all people really want to change the format to a creative format of society, to really have just a lot of benefits that make our life easier and happier, we just need to start talking about that, just to have examples before our eyes. Because when you already see that a lot of people all over the world, millions of people are already acting towards creative society, start talking about that, you can also easily join that. Yes, and I would like to ask our guests maybe to share their experience, just to share how they're already participating in the Creative Society project.
One thing I'm trying to do to take part in the Creative Society is by sharing lectures that, in the first place, are executed by youth, like us, like my friends, like people I know from schools and other universities. These lectures actually give me insight about how our problems are pretty close to each other, how we are all actually creative in the first place, but how would you use this power of creativity when you're always, or from a young age, when you're always there's forces working on you, like trying to market their way through your mind, through your senses, through your eyes. Like this problem, like we have a lot of more energy that we are not able to use it because of the other people telling us what to do and how we should be doing it. Actually, I saw problems that are pretty close to each other. Most of us have close problems to each other, but we are not close to share information, to make the road much easier on each other. We don't have the peace of mind to talk about it peacefully without just feeling that we have pressure to not discuss some topics. We have here like another problem is toxic masculinity that push men to always show that they are strong, they have no problem. All these things actually work on us from a very young age. We couldn't even recognize it. And all these things prevent us from being creative enough. And so when generations share this information with each other from a young age, I believe it would be much easier so that this generation can create a generation better than them, so that the next generation is better, and so on. And that's how our creativity and our creative society will be much better on the long term, instead of just giving up to the current situation and the current systems around us.
Thank you so much for sharing that, and it's really about opportunities for every person. And I would like to also pass the floor to Masiga. Could you please share what benefits you see in the creative format of society for every person, and how important is it actually for everyone?
I would like to ask everyone that is watching this video one honest question. Is the format of the society that you have been living in for millenniums, has it helped you in any way or another? Honestly speaking, unless you are not a human being and you want to step over people's heads, and you don't want anything good for anyone else except you. Honestly speaking, guys, who would love to see the kids on the street? Who would love to see people fighting each other? Who would love to be in a constant state of fear all over taking place? Who would love to see the neighbor feeling hungry and running to your home just because they don't have something to eat? Who would would love to see us working each and every day and dissipating our own life energy just in exchange of money. Who loves any condition that is living in right now? Who loves anything right now that is taking place for real? Honestly, look at it honestly by yourself. Look around and everything that is taking place. Besides that, let's bring in the climatic change. Something that is to cyclicity, something that is inevitable, something that can destroy all of us if we are not united. Guys, we are short of time and we have no any other thing to do. The creative society is the only solution in which all the problems are mentioned that no one wants to see around him exist. It's the only solution where there is no constant working for money, just little money, pension, on which you cannot feed yourself and even your family, and you cannot even live a happy life. You have no time for your own self. Guys, the creative society is the only solution where we shall stop running to each other, yearning for food, and yet we cannot feed our own selves. The creative society is the only solution in which all people can live peacefully and happily. All the problems that we have mentioned, from corruption to education, to manipulation through mainstream media, to hunger, to environment disasters, all of them, they are due to the format of the society in which we are living in. Guys, if you want a society in which you can live happily, just mention it. Just mention any format of society you want to live in and the conditions you want in that society, and compare whatever you want to be in that society if they are not in the 8 foundations of the creative society. Everyone can read them by their own selves, format of society that you need. And the fact that we don't have time right now, guys, the creative society is the only solution. There's nothing more I can add to that. Thank you.
Thank you a lot. Very important question that every one of us need to ask him or herself. What kind of actions we need to take in order to really overcome these situations, and do we really deserve the life that we have right now? And these first steps, exactly what is very important to do. Just start to talking about it, and start talking about the benefits that we have.
Yeah, that's really true. And that's wonderful that today we as humanity, we really have choice, and we really can choose in which society we want to live and how we want to live. Because we have everything. We have technology, we have scientific advance, and we have all the possibilities. But it's question up to us. So how we want to live and what are we ready to do for that? And I just would like to ask one more question. Could you please share what you think every person can start with today? We talked about problems we have, and we talked about perspectives, which really awesome. So what do you think every person can do today? What message maybe you would like to share with all the people who are watching this?
Well, my message would be that we should be looking for more diversity in our opinions, in our point of views, in how we see things could be. Diversity in the way we live, like we should believe we have more options. We should believe that there are other people out there that they have same brains like us, that would like to connect with us and then look for the best that we could bring out from this world, because after all we are one economy, we are one earth, we can't just let this like differentiations in looks or regions or anything with this make us forget that we are actually in one place. The weather, we will all be affected by it, the water, the food, all these things we will be affected on it. whether we differentiate ourselves or not. We have to get back to our truths and then believe that with diversity, we can start become more freedom, more creative, and more self-responsible for our environment and our society around us. And always ask ourselves, what can I do for people around me that I may be a very good provider or very useful, but I don't know it. So I have always to ask this question. Thank you, Anna.
Yes, thank you, Marwan. It's really important thing that everyone also need to, just to understand, because this responsibility of everyone, it's really starts from me being responsible not only for your life but for other people. You understand that, yeah, we can really do that, and not only my life will be improved in future, but life of every person on earth will be improved. So the same question for you, Masiga.
My message to everyone out there: I don't care who you are and where you come from, as long as you're a human being. My message is that stop listening to your mind and listen to your heart. Come back to your original source and learn how to feel and understand. Change your attitude towards yourself and the people around you. Start loving each other, my friends. With love for one another, everything around us can change, guys. That is my only message. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this discussion and for highlighting important points. And thank you. We today talked about such global issues, but at the same time, it looks like solution is very easy. It's communication between people. It's that to understand for ourselves what we really want and how we want to live. Yes, we were taught to follow something, to follow someone without thinking much about it. But today it's time when we have possibility to ask ourselves, so how I want to live, how I want to live this life for myself, for people around, and what we can do all together. Because today we have everything to do that. So thank you so much for this discussion. And I just would like to say that today, to build a greater society, we just need to inform all people in the world. And when we know that we have choice, we can really use it. So I invite all of our viewers also to join our discussions, our talk. Please write to our email info@creativesociety.com and share your comments, share your questions, and let's together find out so how in the shortest possible time we can build the world which we really deserve to live in.
Yeah, really, thank you so much for taking part in this discussion, and thank you, dear viewers, for watching us. If you really like what you have heard today, start sharing about it. Start talking about this unique chance that we have. Right now, we have all of the technology that connect us all around the world, and we have social medias that also can spread the information very easily. So you can make a video in TikTok or any other social platform, post it on Twitter or YouTube or Instagram. All the things that we are using today, it's our investment in our future. The participation of each of us is very valuable. So thank you so much, and see you in the next episodes.